In this video, we are given the square root of 101 to 4 decimal places with no calculator. So this is a Cambridge interview question. And in this video, I'm going to actually work this to 4 decimal places. It was originally asked to work this to 4 significant figures, but I just twisted it a bit and I'm going to do it to 4 decimal places. So let's begin. So first things first, what we would need to do is to actually, let me draw my box, which I will basically be using to calculate the square root. And let's put 101 beneath this box. So the first thing that we should do is to actually take a look at the first term. Now, seeing that this has 3 separate digits, and we would normally work in pairs, we would just take the first term by itself. So the first term is 1, and we need to actually identify something that, or what would the result be in our final answer. So we would need necessarily take values. So let's say, for example, if we took 2 as our first term, we would have to multiply 2 by 2, and this is equal to 4. So we need a value which is equal to 1 or less than 1. So 4 is greater than 1, so 2 definitely can't work here. So let's try 1. So 1 times 1 is equal to 1. So indeed, the value which we're looking for is 1. So 1 is the value which would satisfy this equation. So let's actually subtract. So let's subtract the 1, and we would get 0. And remember when I said we would work in pairs, we would need to bring this down and get 0, 1. Okay. So seeing that we have 0, 1 here now, what we would need to do is to actually add the 1 and the 1. So we would now have 2, and we would leave the 1's place blank. So we would repeat the process, and we would say, okay, whichever number I choose to fill in this gap, I must be able to multiply it by the digit which I choose. So if I chose, let's say 1 here, so that would be 21 times 1, and that is 21. So 21 is greater than 1 here, so that can't be the case. So in this instance, I will have to choose 0 and 0. So that is why I chose that. So 0 times 20 is simply 0. And we would still be left with our 0, 1. So remember when I said we should add whatever the result is, we should add it. So 20 plus 0 is still 20, and we would leave the 1's place blank. Okay, now we don't have any more digits remaining, so we could actually add the decimal point and bring down our next, well, let's add 2 zeros. Let's add our decimal point. And now we will bring down our zeros. Okay, so now we have 100. So if we should choose 1, well, any number we choose will be greater than 100. So we will have to choose 0 and 0 again. Now that would be 0. Let me extend this here. Take away, and we would still be left with 100. So I hope you're following with what I'm saying so far. So the next step would be to add 2 more zeros. So we work in pairs, so we always add 2 zeros. So this is now 10,000. And once more, we would have 200, and we would leave the 1's space blank. All right, I guess I would have need more space here. Okay, can work with it. So let's see, 204. Let's try 200. Well, 2004 times 4. This would be 8,016. So if we tried 2005 times 5, this would be 10,025. So definitely 4 would be our next digit here. And as such, 4 would go here as well. So now we would have 8,016 being subtracted from 10,000, and that would leave 1,984. So 1,984 would be left. Now we would continue repeating this process. Now, seeing that we had 4 as our value here, we would need to add the 4 to the 2004, and we would get 20,080 something. So we would actually need to add 2 more zeros again. So this is quite tedious, but it is a procedural way in calculating square roots without using calculators. So 20,080 something, we would need to find a value here which we could multiply that is less than 198,400. So if we look at this, it can't be 10, it can't be, well, it has to be 9, because this is close to 200,000, so it has to be a number with 9. So this actually takes a bit of reasoning as well. So 9 would be our next value here. So 9 times 20,089. Now you would need to do some long multiplication to actually get these answers, but I believe these are only given, well, 1 questions per interview. So 180,801 would be subtracted, and we would be left with 17,599. So this is what we would be left with. Now our next value is 9. So we could actually, and seeing that we wanted to find this, the value of this to, well, 4 decimal places, we still have a bit more to go. So the value is 9. So let's add to this, and we would get 29,8 and leave a blank space here. And we would still need to add 2 more zeros. And always remember to add the zeros and bring them down. Okay. So from here on out, we would need to see what we could multiply by to get a number which isn't greater than this. Now, by looking at it, it is surely not 9, because 9 would produce, as you can see here, it would produce 1.8 million. So it is definitely 8, which would produce 1.6 million. So minus 1.6 million, 7,904. And always remember, whichever value you get, you would need to put it there. Now for the final step, well, once you've subtracted, you would get 151,996. And once you've subtracted, you would basically be left with that. And remember, it asks for 4 decimal places, so we still have 1 more to go. So we would need to find another value. Well, we only need to know if it is greater than or less than 5. Now, by looking at this, if we should add 2 more zeros to this, and then we should add the 8 to this, so we would get 200,996 and a space here. So looking at this, this is definitely greater than 5. 5 would produce 10 million. So by looking at this, we could see that this is a number, or this value would actually be greater than 5. Because if we put a number greater than 5 here, we would surely get a rounded up answer. So our final answer rounded off to, let me use a different color. Our final answer to 4 decimal places would be 10.0499, because the answer after the 8, or the number after the 8, would be greater than 5. So that is how you would calculate the square root of 101 without the use of a calculator. And this is all done within 10 minutes. So I'm pretty sure it would be done quite in a timely manner in the interview. So if you enjoy these videos, please be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.